Today we continue our highlights of the GJA election coming up on the 30th of this month. And today we speak to Charles Mawusi. He's aspiring GJA president. He's in studio with us, and Kojo and I have sandwiched him to try and understand what he has over the current president, Jumfo. So welcome to the program, Mr. Charles Mawusi.
Thank you, Sweetie.
How does it feel to be fighting to remove the sitting GJA president?
It's very exciting and interesting.
Yeah? Okay. So tell us, exactly, we have just about 20-something minutes to get into, so I want to get straight into the meat of the matter. What do you have over Jumfo? What are your unique selling propositions that you think will earn you that spot as the president of the GJA?
Thank you very much, and good morning to your viewers all over Ghana and beyond. We all have our pathways where we acquired experience. We all, as a journalist, if you work with radio, you gather experience on how to write the radio news and the features. The same way if you work on online and other issues. So my pathway, the experience and the character and my belief system is what I think is separating me from Mr. Jumfo.
And I see you have some priority areas that you have expatiated in terms of leadership and professionalism, press center and regional offices. You look at capacity building and professional development and welfare of members. Kojo will come to you in a bit, but what are the gaps that you have identified since you've been observing? And because you're not with any media house, you run your own media house, that is the Transmedia Network. So what gaps have you identified which you think you can fix?
Okay. Having worked as a journalist for some time before going into development communication, I have worked with GJA over the years, and the gaps that I've identified now, one is capacity building. We need to strengthen the capacity at the Secretariat. This capacity needs at the Secretariat are two levels. One, the systems of accountability, the systems that will make sure we have audited accounts, that will provide credibility for donors, credibility for development partners, and even corporate world to work with GJA. Over the years, there are some organizations that GJA collaborated with on so many issues. Ask me now, why are those collaborations not happening? It has to do with capacity issue. Capacity issue at technical level, where we need the human resource that has to identify things that are relevant for journalists. That has to identify projects and initiatives that would benefit journalists who are members of GJA. That capacity is not there. Now, capacity to put systems in place is not there. Let me quickly give you an example. In 2012, I was at Star Ghana as a technical advisor on media and communication. And my initiatives, together with my colleagues at Star Ghana, we brought 12 media organizations to benefit from our election support fund, including multimedia. Now, doing that assignment, I have to work with GJA and other media organizations to develop the concept notes, to write proposals, how to form activity plan, and implement and even report. I did all these things with them.
So you have the experience to bring...
Oh, a lot. I have a lot of experience.
Funding support.
Exactly.
That the GJA
exactly.
has. Kojo, over to you.
But on the audited account, the other time you spoke, no, it was on probe rather. The president now said they have audited report up to 2023, if I'm not wrong. Is that a major challenge where you should be focusing?
Well, I think I'm not focusing only on the audited account.
Okay, I'm even being told that it's actually to February 2025.
Well, the facts I know is contrary to that. Because there are issues of GRA, currently there are issues of tax issues with the association at GRA. Currently there are issues of not filing annual report. Now, the point I was making was that in 2016, when GJA wanted to replicate what we did in 2012, I was asked to do proposals for GJA, concept note. I did it. We passed the test at Star Ghana. Now, when Star Ghana came to do due diligence, GJA could not pass the due diligence. And that And that due diligence goes beyond just audited reports. It has to do with your PVs, your payment voucher development, how payment processes go. Because the essence of that due diligence is to assure the funding agency that you are running the association well, AGM is taking decision, you are implementing decisions taken by AGM and also the council. So if you don't have these systems in place, you will have problem with organizations that are interested in supporting you. This gap has widened over the years. That is why you realize that GJA is unable to attract training programs directly from donors like we used to have in the past, because the technical capacity to manage this assignment is not there. Then again, the financial management issues are a problem. So we did not pass the test in 2016. And from that time up till now, you realize that GJA had not received any funding up to the magnitude that we received in Star Ghana. The same thing we did in the past because of credibility issues. So I am standing, one, to strengthen the systems at the Secretariat, have the capacity for the technical people at the Secretariat to be able to attract and deliver projects that will benefit journalists across the country.
Now, you talk about unionization, and something that was spoken about some time ago.
Yeah.
Because I believe that will then give you the power to negotiate for salaries of
Exactly.
How are you going to do that?
Well, the process for the unionization is in motion. The previous administration started the process, and GJA is officially unionized. What is left now is the bargaining certificate. You know, I cannot come to multimedia to start negotiating with your management and say your salaries are not at the level that is supposed to be if I don't have the bargaining certificate. So we need to finish that agenda by engaging with TUC and other relevant stakeholders so that we have the bargaining certificate. That is level one. Now, the bargaining certificate is needed for remuneration. Another area I want to look at the issue of remuneration from is that we journalists, we are the content creators. When you come to this place, the only commodity we are selling as a media house is the news and the programs. Who are the creators of this content? It's the journalists. Your producer, yourself, and all of you, you are journalists. So if you are not paid well, if you are not taking good, if your management is not taking good care of you, your ability and your motivation to go the extra mile will not be there. So that has to do with engagement with media owners and media managers to understand that journalists are the content creators.
How soon do you want to get this bargaining certificate done in case you win?
Oh, it's a negotiation thing. Within 3 months, we should be able to overcome this.
3 months from assuming power.
Exactly.
I mean, it's been alleged that you've been accusing you of embezzlement of funds.
No.
What funds specifically? Oh, it's not true.
It's not true.
Okay.
I have not accused him of anything.
Okay.
No. Because what I'm doing with this campaign is that, Kojo, when you go to the market, what you are going to buy, you must focus because there are a lot of noise in the market and there are a lot of commodities in the market. So this campaign, for me, is not about personality. It's about what do we do to transform our association. And I'm just focusing on the message. What he could do, he has done his part. Now, according to his capacity and his experience, like I established earlier on, that we all have our pathways to acquiring our experience and character.
But do you have concerns of embezzlement of funds or mismanagement of funds as we speak right now in the leadership of the GJA?
Well, I've also heard about some mismanagement of some funds. But these are things that if I become the president, we go into it and we find out what are the issues. Where has the funds gone to? Because if we don't establish credibility and transparency at GJA, we are not going to attract the needed support that we need, definitely. So we need to go into all these things and make sure that where there are malfeasance, we look into it. If we have to prosecute, we prosecute.
Okay.
Let's talk about the relevance of the GJA. I know that not all journalists in this country belong to the GJA. And what will you do to make the association feel like a necessity for the, for journalists, most journalists, if not all?
Thank you. We need to rebrand GJA because, you see, we need to let the public have confidence in GJA, number one. Number two, there are a lot of people who are practicing as journalists who would want to be part of GJA. There are a lot of people who are practicing as journalists, but even basic knowledge on the code of ethics, code of conduct, do not add your opinion to the news, do not comment to the news. These basic things, they are not aware of these things. Now, we need to sanitize the system. I am proposing that we have to brand GJA members. If you are going on assignment, if you are going out to do anything, what do we do to separate us from other journalists? It's very, very key for me. And I have some ideas towards that.
When you say us and other journalists, are you tying in citizen journalism? Because these days, I mean, bloggers and everyone with a phone and internet could call themselves a journalist. And so, I mean, tied to that question, it would be, how do we ensure the ethics of the profession percolates even among these citizen journalists?
Exactly. That presents real opportunity for us to also kind of like rope these citizen journalists into our group. How do I intend to do that? GJA, together with GIJ, my favorite journalism school, would come out with a course, a training program that could train people who want to be formally recognized as members of GJA and as journalists. 1-year program that talks about basic journalism principles, ethics, and all that. Once you have gone through that process, GJA, together with GIJ, presents certificate to you. You become an affiliate member. We monitor your behavior. We monitor how you practice the skills you acquired over a period of time. We make you a full member. You see, doing this will help us to increase our membership and also help sanitize the environment. But if we leave things as they are, people will continue to infiltrate the profession, and people will be doing things that are not in line with what we should do as journalists.
I think there must be something attractive, something that you can only get, some advantages that only the GJA, being a member of the GJA can give you. Otherwise...
That brings us to the issue of welfare. I am pushing for a welfare policy. GJA as a welfare organization to take care of journalists and protect journalists, we do not have a welfare policy as I talk to you. We need to have a clear policy on what do I stand to benefit as a member. I went around to the regions, and the regions are telling me that GJA has been reduced to pay dues and come and vote. It is only the voting period that we talk about dues and all that, who has paid, who is in good standing to vote. So the issue is that we need to take care of our colleagues. We need to take care of ourselves. And when we have a stronger welfare system, we have investment opportunities that are driving income into the associations, and we are taking care of ourselves, then automatically everybody would want to be part of GJA. But if we leave it as it is, then we are not going to sanitize the environment. We are not going to get a lot of people to become members, and we cannot control the space.
But if you look at the endorsement that Dufoy is getting, doesn't it scare you in any way?
No. If you go to the ground, the story is different.
Okay.
I have been to the regions, and what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing in the region, I'm not scared. I have rather...
What have you seen?
I'm speaking to the people who vote, and what they are telling me gives me confidence, and I'm not scared.
So what exactly, to her question?
Yeah.
What are they saying?
What are they telling you?
Oh, I've mentioned some. I said, there was a lecturer, for example, a professor. I met 3 professors at UCC who are members of GJA. One of them told me that when he saw the interview on Pulse, that is where he decided to come and have a meeting with me. And he had decided that he would have nothing to do with GJA. But because of the message I'm selling, I'm marketing, he has decided to come. And he told me specifically that he has lost hope I went to Bono region, Ahafo, and the story is the same. So if you go down, you realize that journalists are calling for welfare. Journalists are calling for capacity building. Journalists want the press center to be turned into a multi-purpose facility. What prevents us from developing the press center into developing part of the center into a hostel? Our members from the region come to Accra, and they have to spend about half of their salary to sleep one night in a hotel. What prevents us from doing things that will put food on the table for our members? These are the things that I'm telling them. So as I'm in the marketplace, I'm focusing on what my administration will deliver. And the reception is great out there.
Okay. So you're confident of winning.
Yeah. Kojo, can I come in at this point? I mean, tied to a lot of things you're talking about, the argument about unionization, right? And it's not only coming up now in this race, but it appears if we actually achieve that, we stand to get more advantages. Present a united front, able to take decisions as a union, of journalists. Where do you sit on that debate as to whether or not the GJA is ready to be unionized, and if that holds the key to our quest for certain privileges as journalists, as a profession, as the fourth estate in this country?
You see, the unionization agenda, like I said, has started already. So we are ready for it. We know the benefit it will deliver. But what is left now is the leadership that cares, that will take this step forward to get the bargaining power. It's the leadership that is not thinking about self, but is thinking about the welfare of journalists. And that is where the issue is. Because all of us, it's our motivation that drives us. So if your motivation is to come and make money from GJA, you are not going to think about welfare. If your motivation is about making sure journalists have good conditions, you will be driven to move forward and have the engagement done. So it's a matter of priorities. It's a matter of we coming together. There are a lot of people who are journalists, prominent people who are practicing as journalists. All of them have taken backseat because because that leadership that will galvanize them, bring their skills on board, and separate friendship or the opportunities for the few. Once you begin to settle the opportunities for the few, and you don't widen the scope to look for the skills to come on board, then you have an apathy. So I'm sure that by the time we start working, because I'm going to win, by the time we start working, you will realize that we'll bring on board people, sit down, let's think about our welfare. What do you want to see in the welfare policy? What do you want to see GJA going forward? I would want to do consultative kind of leadership. I was in the regions and I told them that my priorities that I'm selling to you, if you are kind enough to vote for me, I will come back, sit down with you. We will design a work plan for you at the regions. We need to get offices for the regions. We need to get our members in the region to work. We need to stop the situation where the secretariat at Accra is taking all the dues and not giving anything back to the regions. Okay. Because if we get offices for the regions, they need to pay light bill, they need to pay their bills, and we must get them to work. And I'm sitting down having a work plan for them. 1, 2, 3 is what we are doing, and I'm following up. It shouldn't be a business as usual, because if we continue in that path, the association will sink. Look at other associations. Look at where they are. And we have journalists across. We fight for people. We talk about people's welfare, and we don't have a welfare policy. All right. This must stop.
What would be your greatest achievement if you should win? And what would be your regret if you win and you are not able to do something that you set out to do?
Well, I want to leave the secretariat at the end of the next 3 years with a welfare policy.
Okay.
I want to leave at the end with a stronger team at the secretariat, that when I am even out, they would be able to continue the foundation that I'm going to lay. And if we start building credibility, I want to see GJA that is seen as a credible organization for corporate wealth and also for development partners to work with.
Are you saying as it stands, GJA is not credible?
Yes, I can say that confidently.
It's not credible.
I can say that confidently.
Head that association.
Yes, that is why I am coming in.
Do you feel called, or you just think you can do better? It's
a call to do better. Because, you see, I was in a meeting planning a project that was for USAID. If not because Trump had come to cancel it, would have been implementing that project now.
Okay.
You know, at that table, we need to do some advocacy work across the country for district assemblies. Then I said, okay, we have journalists across the country. So let's go to GJA and let's work through GJA members at the districts. Do you know what I was told? Oh, for GJA, let's go for Information Service Department. Then I said, okay, Information Service Department is within the members that are in ISD. Majority of them are journalists. But I kept pushing that let's do this with GJA. They said, no, we need systems, we need organizations with credible systems that could do it. So later on, when I found out, I realized that some of these donors have been working with ISD already. And these donors, they talk among themselves. So if they identify your system to be weak, and you can't be credible, and you can't be trusted, then they are not going to work with you.
That's all that time will allow us. So please tell the people to vote for you. That's your camera right there.
Well, colleague journalists, this election should not be seen as business as usual. This election is about welfare, it's about capacity building. This election is also about the state of our association and the future of journalism. When you vote for Charles Mawusi, you are voting for somebody who is credible. You are voting for somebody who will take care of your dues. You are voting for somebody who will account for every peso. I'm counting on you, and let's work together. Thank you.
We should have ended it, but someone who is watching us says, good morning, boss. Please, we would like you to ask Mr. Mawusi, what does he have for attacks on journalists, especially those who were attacked by illegal miners in Asankragwa?
Okay. The attacks on journalists, you realize that largely there are two stakeholders that are attacking us: security agencies and the political parties and their activists. Already, we need to, once you have identified these two stakeholders, we need to engage them. They need to understand that the work we are doing this work to protect them. And it is this engagement that you take them through process to understand that if we are following something like Galamsey, we are following Galamsey because of the impact of Galamsey on all of us, including them. So these are engagement that we have to do strategically to the stakeholders. Beyond the engagement, we need to expand on the work that Samson, your own Samson, and other lawyers have been doing, going to court and following up. We need to review that work. Where they are working well, we maintain. Where we need to expand that into a committee. That committee would follow up on attacks consistently. The current regime whereby we take one step on attack issues, then we come back, we wait. When it is World Press Freedom Day, we go back to the files. When they say the files are with Attorney General, we come back, we announce it, nobody follows up. We need to be persistent, have a consistent system to follow up on those things.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for passing through. And that is Charles Mawusi. He's vying to be elected as GJA President. Well, wish you all the best, sir. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
This is the AM show. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll delve into our big issue for today on the AM show. Do stay with us.
Well, now you can go.